presentations. So if we can grab our first team up to present, can we get Khwizmi up to the front, please? So yeah, a refresher of the rules. From the time you start, it is 5 minutes altogether for presentation and questions from the judges.
Hello, so good evening everyone. So basically, we start this with a question. Who here has a test tomorrow or whatever in the coming week? Raise your hands. Alright, what test is it? Just if you want, I want to know what test is it? What test is it? Java. Yeah, this is 2002, right? Yeah, good luck. So, by now you might be thinking of revising, right? Like, you want to study, like for example, Java, you want to study your slides. You really want to know how far you understand it. Sometimes it's really hard to know how far you understand it without testing what you understand. So what we come up here is our solution to that. Let me bring that to Russia here, we'll explain more.
Alright, so what inspired us to make this was actually like, I'm kind of struggling with STAT 2004 right now, if anyone of you has taken that or is taking it with me this year. So basically, this app allows you to bring your own material. Let's click start learning here. So I have this statistics paper. It's about the Fisher information matrix. Like that. Okay. So basically, here's a page where you can choose and upload your PDF, and you can choose which page you want to study on, and we can choose up to 5 pages. Let's just keep it at 3 to keep the processing there. Okay. So after that, you can choose the study duration. So based on your material that you've chosen, how long are you planning to study for? And after the study period ends, you're going to be taken into the quiz session of the app, where an AI will generate the quiz depending on the material. So you can click start studying. And there you go. This is the study page. You can choose to study here or wherever. There's your companion, our mascot, Khwizmi. He will make jokes about the material. So here, if he's not shy, there you go, that's one of the jokes. It's a statistician joke, I think. And basically, once the timer ends, you'll automatically get redirected to the quiz page, but as we have no time to wait until the timer ends, we'll just end the session early, which you can do by clicking end session and saying, I'm ready. Alright, and now, we wait for a bit. It's generating a quiz basically, and if you guys want to, this will be our little Kahoot session. If you guys could answer the questions, go ahead. All right, what is the Fisher information matrix? Can you guys see? Hands up for star. Okay, there. Hands up for circle. Hands up for triangle. Oh wow, there's one. Very, okay. Hands up for moon. Alright, I guess we'll go for triangle. Alright, you can flip through the questions. Looks like the AI only gave us like a minute and a half, so like we'll just finish early. Yes, I'm sure. And there you go, they're talking. And so we can see the feedback, and we see there the exact answer is that one, and it also gives us the reason why that answer is indeed correct. And then you see we gained 0 experience. That means we didn't. If we see the leaderboard, you can open the leaderboard, please. Here it shows our cumulative experience points over the study sessions. And see, we're in first even though we got 0 XP because I've been testing this a lot. So then, yeah, basically this is our app, Khwizmi. Thank you.
so testing 1, 2, 3. All right, while we get that sorted out, we'll just speak loudly for you. The design of this, did you do the design yourself?
Yes.
Yes, we did.
So did you like make all the graphics, all the icons, and all the
Yes,
animations?
I made the mascot, the stars, and all the UI aspects. For context, especially for our brand design Khwizmi, we were inspired by the scholar Khwizmi, who was one of the most popular scholars, especially in astronomy. That's why we took this design, as well as actually, for a fun fact, Khwizmi, his name was, it was an inspiration for the word algorithm. That's why we wanted to take inspiration from him.
Thank you.
So that was a statistic paper with a lot of maths in it.
Yeah.
Does the AI do anything around the mathematical notation at all?
So basically, because of the way we parse the PDF, we parse it in raw text form, right? We haven't found a way to parse the actual latex for the math notation. Sometimes it actually does try its best to take the formulas, but it's because it's raw text. It's a bit iffy at times, but yeah.
Given that it's not really getting that much of the maths, is it still useful for your statistics paper?
So, okay, yeah, sure.
Sometimes, this is just one example, which is we're using it for a statistic paper, which, I mean, we have lots of maths. However, one thing that really makes this a good thing is that when it's used on something which is like content heavy, for example, paper which are related with social studies, like your business papers, economics papers, or psychology papers, those are all qualitative research, and they all contain lots of text, so certainly in that sense, this model can this app can help you study in that, and especially from our experience, those are the most difficult to.
Alright. That's fine. Alright, thanks for presenting Khwizmi. Yeah, we're going to cut a little short. But yeah, you can give them a round of applause.
Hello, is this working? Yes. All right. Our presentation is inspired by Steve Jobs' iconic unveiling of the iPhone. Ella, take it away.
Okay, so we made a music player, a running app,
A running app.
a music player,
A music player.
a running app.
A running app.
Yep, they're one app.
That's it. That's perfect cadence.
Yep, and alternate icon.
I'm going to share my screen from my phone because it's an iOS app. Okay. Can everyone see that? All right. So let me present the concept of perfect cadence. Have you ever been out for a run trying to listen to music, but you keep getting stuck in the rhythm of the song and it's messing up your pace? It happens to me all the time. It's why I don't listen to music when I run, because I can't help locking my feet into the beat. So, perfect cadence is the solution. It listens, or it tracks how fast your feet are moving, your current running cadence, and then it adjusts the tempo of the music you're listening to perfectly match the song to perfectly match your feet, so your feet will be in time with the music. It will then also search your library for a song which has a BPM matching your current cadence and cue it next. So it has two modes. In one mode, it can track your running, and it uses the pedometer to do that. In another mode, you can set a target BPM for like a workout that will lock all your songs to that tempo. So let me demonstrate the target mode first. I'll have it set to 130. You can see I can edit it here. Let's play beat it. Is it? Oh, it's not going to play through the. We all hear it. Okay, so this is locked into 130. Now let me skip to the next song. Exact same tempo. I have the tiger.
We kept the scale by 25%.
So let's see what's next. It's chosen a song with a BPM of 123, close to our target of 129. Exact same tempo. So this is really handy for if you want to plan a workout targeting a specific pace. Now let me demonstrate the running detection. So I'm going to put this phone in my pocket. I'll give you the microphone, Ella. I'm going to start running.
So as we run, the step per minute will update after 10 seconds. We don't do that as often as like 1 second, so that it doesn't also like sound much. And I don't think the song is playing.
Oh yeah, I need to play. That would happen if you naively scaled everything, but we use an we use an API which lets you change the playback rate without affecting the pitch.
Okay, so this is handled.
Yeah, it's handled, not by us.
So what happens if, I guess if the promo sort of whacks out, does it go back to being regularly scaled, like as a set rate, or does it sort of just try to?
So it.
So for example, you use automatic scaling, but then your denominator doesn't play along.
Yeah. So the scaling is capped to plus or minus 25%. So sometimes, let's say you stand still, your pedometer drops to 0. It won't stop playing music. It'll just play it at a slower pace, 75% of the original tempo. Likewise, it won't go above 125%. It'll try and scale it to half of your pedometer BPM. Does that answer that?
So which music APIs are you pulling the music from?
Yeah.
Or you want me to play it?
It's from Apple Music, but we are getting the BPM from Spotify, so you actually need to log into Spotify for this.
Yes. It uses the Apple Music library songs on your device, but you don't need Spotify Premium, you just need a regular Spotify account.
And what have you used to actually deploy the app to your iPhone?
It's built using SwiftUI and Xcode, and currently I'm just deploying it in a development build, but we can put it on test flight and deploy it to up to 1,000 users for free, which I'm looking forward to doing.
After further development.
Yeah.
Yep.
Awesome. Thank you, everyone.
Okay, so we're BlackboardFS.org, and we made BlackboardFS as our project. So we all know how slow regular Blackboard can be, and a bit unwieldy sometimes, and annoying to find stuff, or if you forgot to download an assignment and keep having to go back to Blackboard every time you want to check the spec, it can be pretty annoying. So what we've developed is a file system driver. Well, this is just accessing an assignment in regular Blackboard, a bit of a speed run. And we've developed a file system driver that pretends to be basically a USB stick, and you'll see that after Blackboard's finished being a bit slow. So apologies for the text being small, but basically Ben here is just seeding into the directory, makes a few mistakes, opens the PDF, and that's all downloaded on demand, and it was like almost 3 times as fast probably. So if your network is extremely slow, it uses 600 times less bandwidth than regular Blackboard just for browsing around, so it's not that big of a lie. So yeah, this is basically summarizing those two things, and it's really easy to use because it's basically just like Blackboard's a USB stick, and you just copy it across to your laptop, or you can just even open it in place. So this is comparing the bandwidth usage. So when you go to the home page of Blackboard,
your web browser makes around like 168 web requests, some of which will be cached, but it's still like 6 megabytes of content. And to go to a course homepage, that's 246 web requests, which is also around 6 megabytes. Whereas our file system, if you're using that to just browse around, makes only 2 requests when you first mount it as a drive, and then some pretty low number of requests as you're just like browsing around. So that's the main feature of our product. And the other features are that to authenticate, it pops up a web view, you log in with Blackboard, do Duo and all that, and then it steals your cookie and keeps using that until it breaks, and then it gets you to log in again. And Blackboard doesn't really have an API. We tried kind of using it, and it was really bad, so we ended up just making a glorified web scraper as our API client. And our file system basically just talks to that every time you want to know the contents of a directory. It hits up Blackboard and finds out what to show you, and just basically makes these fake files that aren't actually stored on your computer. And it works on macOS and Linux at the moment. And so, yeah, the file system driver is written in Rust for top performance. And Cookie Monster is our tool for logging into Blackboard and stealing your cookies. And we ran into a lot of seg faults, way more than we should have in Rust, even for the things like getting the cookies out. So here's a demo of logging in and taking a quick look around. So you can see it pops up a little thing. We've added a warning that we could be hijacking your account, so be careful. And then once that's started, I'm just sitting in and opening it in Finder. There you go, like, you got all your courses there, and then basically inside each course is all the Blackboard tabs, and all the files are just there. So this is assignment 1, you just open it, and there's your PDF, and it only downloads it once you double click on it. And yeah, so I guess I can just, here it is, in person. I say I want to go to Math 2401, check out my assignments, assignment 1, and there's PDF right there. And you can see on the right, that's all the file system calls. So we're not just faking it, we can just download all the files and put them on my computer. Yeah.
So main thing here is, so you instead of making hundreds of requests, you can get one if I'm just making a few. So what you have to do is some sort of scraping to get everything, which also then causes you to have to do sub-scraping and sub-scraping to get other things. Wouldn't that just be doing the same thing that your browser does when it loads web page?
It doesn't do everything a browser does. A browser also has to load images, SVG files, or CSS and JavaScript that Blackboard does. But since we're not a web browser, we only request the HTML we actually need.
Makes sense. And I guess also useful for when it comes to interoperability between systems. This is SKU-based, still over Linux and stuff at the moment. If you were to migrate this to Windows, for example, would that require a big change?
We've actually found a library that can wrap a Fuse-based file system and expose it to a Windows host. So we wouldn't have to do much to get this working on Windows, at least initially.
So you've minimized the number of network requests, way better than Blackboard. Have you thought about adding caching based on file metadata and upload time so you can do even less requests of files you've already downloaded?
Yeah, so within a single run of the file system, everything is cached in memory. And we had a quick look around as we were doing web scraping, and the data like last change isn't on Blackboard itself, but I'm pretty sure with the right HTTP headers, you'd be able to ask the server if it's the hash has changed or something. And we were thinking we could actually just like cache them in another directory on your computer, and then yeah, do what you said, and then it would work offline as well, and that could be pretty awesome.
name is Paul Clark, and I created Mind Match in 40 hours this weekend, a cool app to help you collaboratively learn together with other people. The essence of this app is flashcards, and let me show you why. Ooh, it's gone. Oh, one step too far. So, we have essentially combined your average flashcards, of which you have individually normally stepped through and bore yourself to death occasionally, with dueling. What fun! And so, this is how the app works. Don't understand it? Neither do I. So, let me show you how the app looks like. This here is your landing page. Here we have 4 preloaded decks, of which you've previously uploaded. These can be anything. This could be geography. This could be CSC 1001. This could be Comp 3506. It can literally be anything. And especially for example, medicine students that have potentially over 300 flashcards or more, this app will be able to handle those. Now, in terms of dueling, once you hit play, you'll be able to duel someone, meaning you'll be able to input your answers and then play with someone else. And it seems this screenshot didn't work out quite as expected. So instead, let me show you a quick demo. These are some cool features. 3 points. Okay. Here is our landing page. So I'm going to start by going to the pop quiz area and starting a game. Now, this is the point where you would copy this link and send it to one of your friends. Your friends can be at uni, your friends can be at home, or in a different country. This will work regardless. And then, on my side, I am going to hit join game. And if I bring this client across, you'll be able to see that here I am, ready to go and start helping out. Now, if I bring this back across here for the sake of this example, I'm going to start by inputting an answer here. As you can see on the right side, you can see a black tick has started there, meaning that my answer has been submitted. And so now, it's time for this answer here. So, let me ask the audience, who knows the answer to this? Hands up. Yes, Taylor.
Mars.
Mars, alrighty. Woo! You're gonna
I got that wrong.
Please don't get it wrong. And there we have it. We have 2 valid answers. So, meaning, the 2 checks on either side means that both players got it right. Woohoo! And if we don't get it right, you saw the answer there pop up in the green rectangle, which said Mars in it. So even if you don't get it right, the idea is you keep progressing and keep learning through this. Now, of course, there's also more. We also have power-ups, which is the sword and the shields. And this adds a little bit of strategy into the game flow. Shields are sort of your lifesaver, meaning if you know you're going to get something wrong, then you might want to use a shield. Otherwise, on the opposite side of that, if you want to make sure that your enemy certainly goes down, you might want to use a sword, and hopefully they haven't put up a shield. Now, additionally on this, on the left side is your player, and on the right side is the opposing player. Each player has 3 lives, which will eventually go down if you get a question wrong. And let's answer one more question here. So, who would like to answer this question? Shakespeare? Okay. Would anyone like to have a guess about how to spell that? Or I'll just guess myself.
Did you not put these questions in yourself, Paul?
No, I did not. These are all pre-imported Anki decks. So if I click submit on this, there were no check marks at all, meaning that no answer was correct. And eventually, sending these links to your friends, you would consolidate how well you learned these decks. And eventually, you'll be able to prepare yourself for exams or assignments. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Thank you very much.
You mentioned Anki. I asked you this question personally, but I'm going to make you answer it again in front of everyone. Can you import flashcard decks from existing popular flashcard software like Anki in your software?
Yes. So in Anki, you can go from Anki and export it into CSV, and then from a CSV file, you can go and import it into here. And you can do that from the main page. Now, I did have a little bit of a problem, and I found out that I couldn't export from Anki directly into this because package is 7 years old, and I wasn't willing to reinvent the wheel.
So what happens if more than one person tries to join at the same time?
At the moment, nothing good. But ideally, the server state will handle it. I haven't actually tested it, but ideally the server state should be able to detect when a third person has joined in and should be able to isolate a separate game state for that.
So you're running on your local host now. Have you deployed this?
No, I haven't deployed this, but currently this is actually accessible to everyone on the UQ network. So if you got my UQ network IP right now, you could connect to this and play a game right now from the audience. And ideally, I would love to be able to just deploy this on a server, but unfortunately with Hackathon timing and all that, it was a little bit difficult to get to that stage.
What's your IP address?
You actually what?
I'm not on the UQ network, I don't use it anymore.
A shame.
Yeah, well, yeah.
Are you checking for identical string matching, or how long can my answer be? If I answered lowercase Mars, would have been accepted?
Yep, that would be accepted as well.
Okay, right. So how incorrect can I be? That is my question.
So I like to treat this as a bit of a feature, in the sense that you have to get it exactly right.
It is an identical string match, though. You're just ignoring casing.
Yes, that's correct. Yep. Sweet, thank you very much.
You play.
Put your hand up in the audience if you stole our boxing game idea. Hey guys. Thank you. Now I'm here, and you're there. So, I've never met these people before 3 days ago, or 2 days ago now.
Yeah.
Kim said he wanted to make a beat-making game with Arduino and Unity, and he didn't know he used Unity, and I said, let's do it, because I had no idea what Arduino was. So, and then Burial came to be our team mascot, because we just love him so much. He's a really lovely guy. So, we want to make a beat game, and then we saw some other Unity users were making a beat combat game, and you had to use like an API from OC, we left that. Then we're going to make a boxing game where you punch out ultrasounds with the Arduino and does that. And then these guys come over up in the audience there and say that they have some sort of futuristic Iron Man glove that they're going to make a boxing game with. So we decided that we were going to have to mix all of the parts from Kim's Arduino set to make some disgusting game. Now, since we knew the Arduino set was so incompatible with any like precise form of movement, there's so much random noise, we decided to make a game about driving around a bucket of bolts in space, driving around the Centenarian. That's someone who's 100 years old. You can start playing.
Alright.
So we have a screwdriver on the virtual cockpit that we built that you spin around to move around, to turn in space. Can you push down the screwdriver?
Push down the screwdriver.
Okay. Okay, you can shoot bullets and then you can accelerate. Show acceleration. Now they've found an asteroid. Your goal in the Centenarian is to explore this spatial asteroid belt to find uranium ore to shoot at and mine and harvest for your boss. who's a Khwizmian working for the Axiom Galactic Corporation. We're in a post-apocalyptic world where the only thing left is uranium. There's absolutely no source of fuel other than radiation, because we nuked Earth to absolute annihilation. So the game's pretty simple. You just have to explore basically an almost empty asteroid belt, because we wanted to make it realistic. We were making sort of a, think about a virtual reality, except think about virtual reality, except instead of a visual scape where close your eyes and play the game, and they're interacting with a physical virtual reality, like I guess pretty similar to those sort of steering machines you'll see at arcades. We wanted to make this, and the only way to make this actually make any sense, instead of making an awesome steering wheel machine, is to make well, I guess our own bucket of bolts, just like the spaceship. Okay. Can you entertain them while I try to play? So yeah, let me tell you guys about the hardware. What I'm assuming. So basically, you just look at my Arduino kit, and then all we had was just a bunch of like some sensors and like tilt sensors. So we figured out what kind of game we could make. So we were always going to use the ultrasonic sensor for detecting the distance, and that gives us the idea of like getting the speed. So yeah, also the screwdriver is attached to a potentiometer that detects from 0 to 1000 something. 1000 something. So we find a middle point so we can replicate the tilting to the left and right behavior. So yeah, so it's basically just rebuilding the joystick. And also it's attached to a button that you can shoot with. Yeah. So did you manage to find any asteroids? So yeah, we have an asteroid that you should be able to shoot it and then collect points, as you can see up there. Because this is like randomly generated, so it's not. Yes, it's very realistic. We wanted it to. We did sort of decide at the start that we thought we would end up with a game that you had to be insane to find fun. It was purely supposed to be a 2D realism simulator, a Ludo narrative about being totally alone in an awful machine with no one beside you. Okay. Any questions?
Well, first we'll give you a round of applause. Did you encounter more difficulties building the hardware or designing the software?
We segregated the tasks a lot. Like Kim was fully on hardware, I was fully on software, and Vera was fully on team spirit.
So, one for the hardware, one for the software. What happens to the part where the hardware reads the software and you have to deal with it?
It's pretty simple, because all there is there's a serial stream of data that the hardware sends, and then it's just in the form of basically a line printed that you just have to read and pass into a number.
Yes. So from that point, how did you deal with thresholding and noise from the inputs you received?
We did a pretty cheap solution for the noise, which is just we didn't expect the range. If it went over that range, totally cut it out. And since there's so much input, we could, like every millisecond, we could always just average out the last 6 to 10 inputs, and that would get rid of basically all the noise.
Right. So did you guys did you take whatever set of give it a set of actions? So like do you measure inputs at a certain time frame and then amortize it over a set time to determine what you have?
Yeah. Like it would be. There is. Luckily, we didn't have to. Oh my god. Luckily, we didn't have to worry about the small amount of latency, because we're making a game where you're physically driving an awful ship.
Sorry, Matt.
Thank you.
moment that everyone has been waiting for, the announcement of prize winners. So, here's our award ceremony. Firstly, before we begin, we'd like to firstly thank Technology One for being the primary sponsor of our hackathon and sponsoring the top prize of $2,000. So yeah, for those who don't know, Tech One is an international enterprise software company headquartered right here in Brisbane. And yeah, they're also one of the biggest employers of UQ software engineers and CS grads. So I'm sure if Matt sticks around after the presentations, you want to chat with him about maybe your next big job prospect, whether that be a grad role or other, yeah, you can speak to him. So prizes. So as everyone knows, there was about $500 worth of prizes up for grabs. And yeah, we'll be announcing those now. So, the winner of the best community project, so the project that had the greatest philanthropic and community organization impact, was SignQuest by Rip Autotalk. So if you'd like to come down to, you're still here. Awesome, yeah. So for those who didn't know, they made a sign language interpreting web app. Now for best presentation. So the best presentation was awarded to Khwizmi by the Busy Beavers. The most masochistic project. I think this is one that a lot of people were gunning for this year. So this one was won by the team that built something pretty crazy. I mean, all of you did. By RatLab by RatWorks. I can totally imagine why it's masochistic.
I look forward to it being in 1051.
Do anything? No, we run.
Alright, best game. Another one that was very contentious. There were a lot of people in this category. And the winner of best game was Beat Harder by Grass Touches.
Just a surprise.
Alright, now down to best interdisciplinary. Now, this particular one goes to someone who really brought something out of the box. Very interdisciplinary, more than what we would ever think. So this goes to the deranged woman with a sewing machine. Who would have ever thought we'd have a sewing machine at the hackathon? And yeah, here we are. Next we have best design. Yeah, so this award goes to someone, well, to a team that I reckon did some really fantastic illustrations. So it goes to Procrastination by Team Bereal. I'm so sorry, I meant by Buffcat. That's your team name. Not the project. Don't worry. Can't read.
You did good.
Oh, okay.
Let's go. Is it a photo or a video?
Video.
Okay.
Alright, now time for some of our bigger prizes. So, for People's Choice Award, we have the Centenarian by Team Bereal.
Burial.
Congratulations. The award.
There you go. One. Congratulations.
Because you're the team mascot. You're in the middle, mate.
Okay.
You.
Beautiful. Now for the best newcomers. This was a team built entirely of first years. Really excited to have some first years participate and build some really cool things. This one goes to the Orcas who build UQ Building. Best overall runner-up. If we could have a drum roll, please, for best overall. Taking home $1,000 is Perfect Cadence by Feet. They presented a fantastic presentation and actually a very useful app. I'm surprised it doesn't already exist somewhere. Congratulations. You can have it.
Okay, thank you. Thank you everyone for watching our presentation as well. I'd like to invite Matt Dishon up from Tech One to announce the best overall prize winner. Winner. Who knows? Yes.
That's a live mic. That's a live mic. All right, thanks very much, everyone. I've been involved in these hackathons for a few years now, and one of my greatest regrets is that they didn't exist when I was actually a student here. It's an amazing opportunity, and the thing that I love most about it is it's a microcosm of our tech industry. We bring together tech, we bring together design, user experience, project management, the vibe and the feel is just fantastic. And the sort of pressure that you see in these hackathons largely mirrors a lot of the pressures that we have in the industry. So time pressures, having to prioritise which features are in and which features are out, choosing a tech and then realising that it's not going to work and having to go back and find another one. These are all real problems. So that's why I love being part of these and I love seeing all the cool ideas. So firstly, I'd like to
thank the UQCS team for putting on an amazing event. I think I've only seen the end of it, but if this is anything to go by, it's been a fantastic weekend. So thanks to the committee. My other regret as a judge is that we were out of the room when the band was playing. So I'm really looking forward to hearing the band at dinner, because that is a pretty unique thing. I've never seen a band at a hackathon before, and they're pretty awesome. All right, so now on to the grand prize, and this was unanimous from the judges. This is an idea that made complete sense when all of us saw it for the first time. It was fully formed, it is complete, it is extremely useful, they really nailed the use case. And the first prize for the 2023 UQCS Hackathon goes to BlackboardFS.
Congratulations. Congratulations.
And I believe your first years as well, is that right?
Yeah.
Even more amazing. Congratulations again, guys.
Awesome. So firstly, we'd love to thank everyone. So we'd love to thank Matt Deshawn, Paul Verbic, Taylor Madison, Dani Grubler, and and Ben Matthews for being our wonderful judges tonight. I know they had a very difficult decision, many difficult decisions to make. So thanks for figuring that out, because I definitely couldn't have. Obviously, thanks to Tech One for sponsoring our hackathon. Monkey Got Keys for playing some sweet tunes. And of course, EIT and UQ for letting us run this event 24/7. I'm sure security was definitely kept on their toes all weekend. But yes, thanks to everyone. And also to all the committee members who helped, and also not just committee members, but also alumni and just general people in the UQCS community that helped run the event. Honestly, I don't think we could have done it without you guys as well. Staying out late, working hard to bring us food, all of that. And of course, thanks to all of you for turning up and participating and bringing some really crazy ideas and building some really great projects. That's what makes this event worth it, and that's what makes this event really cool and unique and awesome, is the fact that, we get to see so many great projects built by so many different people over the course of, I guess, 2.5 days. And so yeah, you guys should be really proud of yourselves, whether you won a prize or not. I hope you guys had a really rewarding experience, and had a really good project to take away from this. So if you hadn't already completed the feedback form, that is the link to it as well. So yeah, we'd love to hear some feedback about this event, whether positive or negative. It's completely anonymous, and yeah, we'd love to hear that from you. And yeah, shameless plug, if you want to keep up with UQCS, we did post a fair few of our notices through Discord, so if you haven't joined that already, probably should. We obviously have lots of really cool channels and events that happen, and that is usually the first place we go to let you guys know. So yeah, make sure you join that. Otherwise, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, YouTube. This is live streamed, and also Instagram now. So yeah, lots of places for you to stay connected, or turn up to our events as well. Yeah, we'd love to see you around. So yeah, finally, on your way out, make sure you clean up your area. Basic things, putting rubbish in the bin. If you had borrowed any power boards or extension cables, please make sure that you hand them back so we can check them out. And yeah, don't leave any items behind. It sucks for you and it sucks for us to try and match the items with the person. So yeah. And so yeah, finally, thank you. We will be doing dinner now, I believe, on level 5. So if you guys want to make your way up there, I know the event has run a little bit over time. But yes, if you guys make your way up there. If you are a prize winner, if you could please just stay for a second so we can take a group photo. And yeah, thanks everyone.